Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's incredibly important and touches the lives of so many people: depression. Depression is much more than just feeling sad. It's a serious mental health condition that affects millions of people around the world. It can be hard to understand and even harder to recognize in ourselves or our loved ones. In this video, we'll be exploring the 9 most common symptoms of depression. Our goal is to provide you with valuable information that can help you recognize these symptoms, either in yourself or someone you care about. This knowledge is a crucial step towards understanding and seeking help. If you find this video helpful, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. Also, consider sharing your own experiences in the comments section. Your story could be the one that inspires or comforts someone else. So let's begin by diving into what depression is and the symptoms that are commonly associated with it. One of the most recognizable symptoms of depression is a persistent sadness or a low mood that's more than just feeling down. It's a deep, enduring despair that doesn't seem to lift. This isn't the typical sadness that everyone experiences occasionally. It's profound and pervasive, affecting every aspect of a person's life. It can feel like being stuck in a deep, dark hole with no way out. It's important to understand that this sadness is not necessarily about something specific. While it can be triggered by life events, it often exists without a clear cause, making it confusing and overwhelming for those experiencing it. This constant low mood can lead to a loss of interest in enjoyable activities, avoiding social interactions, and a general sense of hopelessness about the future. It can be incredibly draining, leaving individuals feeling fatigued and unmotivated, which often adds to the guilt and frustration they might already be experiencing. If you or someone you know is showing these signs, it's crucial to understand that they are not just being sad or overreacting. What they are feeling is very real and a significant part of their experience with depression. Moving to our next symptom of depression, we encounter a particularly challenging one: the loss of interest in activities that were once found enjoyable. This symptom is also known as anhedonia. Depression can strip away the joy and interest from activities that used to bring happiness. This isn't just about feeling bored or disinterested. It's a significant change in what used to be pleasurable or fulfilling. This could manifest in many ways. Someone who used to love painting or playing music might no longer feel compelled to pick up a brush or an instrument. A person who was once social and outgoing might start declining invitations and prefer isolation. Imagine someone who loved gardening, finding peace and satisfaction in nurturing plants. With depression, the same garden might start to feel like just another overwhelming task, devoid of its former joy. This symptom can significantly impact relationships and social life. Friends and family might notice the change and feel rejected or confused. It also affects self-perception. People might start to question why they can't enjoy things anymore, leading to feelings of frustration or self-blame. Recognizing this loss of interest is vital because it's often more than just a phase. It's a profound change in emotional response and can be one of the early warning signs of depression. Now, let's discuss a very important aspect of depression: the physical symptoms. When we think of depression, we often focus on emotional and mental signs, but it also manifests physically in various ways. Depression isn't just a state of mind, it can have tangible effects on the body. This includes headaches, digestive problems like stomach aches or irritable bowel syndrome, muscle aches, and other chronic pains. What's particularly challenging is that these symptoms often don't respond well to typical treatments. This can be frustrating and confusing for those suffering, as it might seem like there's no apparent cause for their physical discomfort. For instance, someone might experience regular headaches or migraines that don't seem to have a clear trigger, or don't get better with standard headache remedies. Or, a person might have ongoing digestive issues without any significant dietary or lifestyle changes, which could actually be linked to their mental health. These physical symptoms can contribute to and heighten the emotional symptoms of depression. Dealing with chronic pain or ongoing health issues can increase feelings of hopelessness and frustration. It's also important to note that these physical symptoms can lead to a cycle of worsening depression, as dealing with persistent pain or discomfort can drain emotional and mental energy. Moving on in our discussion about depression symptoms, we come to a prevalent yet often misunderstood sign: changes in appetite and weight. Depression can significantly alter eating habits, leading to noticeable weight changes. Depression doesn't affect everyone in the same way, especially when it comes to appetite and weight. For some, depression leads to a decreased appetite and weight loss. They might find they're rarely hungry or food just doesn't appeal to them. Conversely, others might find themselves eating more, often as a form of emotional comfort, leading to weight gain. This isn't just about occasional overeating. It's a consistent change in eating patterns. Imagine someone who once enjoyed their meals now barely touching their food, or someone who never used to snack frequently, now turning to food for comfort regularly. These changes in eating habits and resulting weight fluctuations can significantly impact physical health. They can also affect self-esteem and body image, potentially creating a vicious cycle that can intensify depressive symptoms. It's also important to note that these changes can be gradual and not immediately noticeable, or they can be quite abrupt. There's often a misconception that these changes are a matter of willpower or personal choice, but in the context of depression, they are symptoms of the illness itself. It's important to understand that this symptom can be indicative of depression and not a personal failing. Recognizing and addressing these changes is crucial for the overall management and recovery process in depression. Another key symptom is sleep disturbances. Sleep problems are common in depression and can take various forms from insomnia to hypersomnia. Many individuals with depression find it hard to fall asleep or stay asleep throughout the night. This type of sleep disturbance is known as insomnia. It's not just the occasional restlessness or a bad night's sleep. It's a persistent struggle that affects daily functioning. On the other hand, hypersomnia or excessive sleeping is also a symptom of depression. Some people may find themselves sleeping for extended periods, yet still feeling tired or having difficulty getting up and starting their day. Picture someone lying awake at night, their mind racing with thoughts, unable to attain the rest they desperately need. Or envision someone who sleeps for 12 hours and still wakes up feeling exhausted and unmotivated. These sleep issues are not just inconvenient, they profoundly impact overall health and mood. Lack of restorative sleep can increase irritability, concentration problems, and fatigue, making other symptoms of depression even more challenging. It's important to recognize that these sleep problems are not a choice or a bad habit. They are a significant part of the depressive disorder. Understanding and tackling sleep disturbances is a crucial step in managing depression. Another critical symptom of depression is fatigue or a significant loss of energy. This is not just about feeling a bit tired. It's a profound and persistent sense of exhaustion that doesn't go away, even with rest or sleep. Many people with depression experience this overwhelming fatigue. It's not necessarily related to physical activity or lack of sleep. It's a deep-seated type of tiredness that can make even the simplest tasks feel daunting and overwhelming. This exhaustion can affect every aspect of life, from personal care to professional responsibilities, making it difficult to function normally. Imagine having a normal night's sleep, but waking up feeling as if you haven't rested at all, or finding routine activities like showering or making meals extraordinarily taxing. This kind of fatigue can lead to a cycle of inactivity, where the less you do, the less you feel capable of doing, further intensifying feelings of worthlessness and depression. It's also important to note that this isn't a symptom that can be pushed through with willpower. It's a genuine and debilitating aspect of depression. There's often a misunderstanding that this fatigue is laziness or a lack of motivation, but it's crucial to recognize it as a legitimate symptom of depression. Acknowledging and addressing fatigue and loss of energy is vital in the treatment and management of depression. Another symptom of depression that is often overlooked is irritability or restlessness. While depression is commonly associated with sadness, it can also manifest as a state of agitation or irritability. People experiencing depression might find themselves easily annoyed or angered by things that didn't bother them before. This irritability can lead to unexpected outbursts or a general sense of being on edge. Restlessness in depression can also present as an inability to relax, constantly feeling antsy, or having a persistent sense that you can't settle down both mentally and physically. Imagine someone who used to be quite patient, now getting quickly frustrated in traffic, or feeling overwhelmed by small daily annoyances that they would normally brush off. This change in temperament can strain relationships, as loved ones may not understand the source of this irritability. It can also affect work and social interactions, making it hard to focus or engage positively with others. It's important to note that this irritability or restlessness is not a character flaw, but a symptom of the underlying depression. Often this irritability is misinterpreted as hostility or a bad attitude, but it's crucial to recognize it as part of the depressive experience. Difficulty with concentration and decision-making is an aspect of depression that can subtly, yet significantly, disrupt daily life. People with depression often find it hard to focus their thoughts, remember details, or make decisions. This isn't just about occasional forgetfulness or indecisiveness. It's a consistent struggle that can affect both personal and professional aspects of life. This difficulty can manifest in various ways: struggling to stay on task, forgetting appointments or commitments, or finding even simple decisions, like what to eat for dinner, overwhelming. Imagine being at work, but unable to concentrate on your tasks, or standing in the grocery store unable to decide on what to buy, not because of the choices, but because your mind feels too foggy to decide. This symptom can lead to decreased productivity and efficiency, which can affect job performance and academic success. It can also lead to increased feelings of inadequacy or frustration, further feeding into the depressive cycle. It's important to understand that this isn't a reflection of intelligence or capability, but rather a symptom of the depression itself. Often, this symptom is misunderstood as a lack of effort or interest, but it's important to recognize it as a legitimate and challenging aspect of depression. Let's discuss a deeply impactful symptom of depression: feelings of worthlessness and excessive guilt. These feelings go beyond the normal emotions of regret or self-critique that everyone experiences occasionally. Depression often brings with it an overwhelming sense of worthlessness or guilt. People experiencing this may harshly criticize themselves for perceived faults and mistakes, even for things beyond their control. This can manifest as an inescapable feeling of being inadequate or believing that one is a burden to others. It's not just being hard on oneself, it's a deep-rooted feeling of being fundamentally flawed or unworthy. Visualize someone constantly feeling responsible for negative events, even when they aren't at fault, or someone who believes that they are unworthy of love, happiness, or success, regardless of their achievements or the efforts they put in. These feelings can lead to a negative spiral, where individuals may withdraw from social interactions, stop pursuing their interests, or neglect their own needs, believing they don't deserve better. It's also common for people with these feelings to over-apologize and exhibit low self-esteem, impacting their relationships and day-to-day interactions. It's crucial to understand that these feelings are symptoms of depression, not reflections of reality. They are not a true measure of a person's worth or abilities. Recognizing and addressing feelings of worthlessness and excessive guilt is an important step in managing depression. If you or someone you know is showing signs of depression, it's important to consider reaching out for support. There is no shame in experiencing these symptoms, and seeking help is a strong and brave step. Depression is a treatable condition, and many people who seek help can improve their quality of life significantly. Please don't hesitate to talk to a healthcare provider if you're concerned about yourself or a loved one. If you found this video informative, please consider liking and sharing it. Please also consider heading over to mindstratos.com to explore more helpful solutions. Thank you for taking the time to watch and learn about depression. By spreading awareness and understanding, we can all play a part in supporting those affected. Take care of yourselves and each other.